Greetings and welcome to Totality Town. Total solar eclipses are really challenging to photograph. So the big question is, if the conditions during a total solar eclipse are so unique, is there anything photographers can do to prepare for it ahead of time? I mean, should we even bother practicing photography for solar eclipses ahead of time? Well, let me tell you. When you're doing eclipse photography, it is critical that you practice the heck out of things ahead of time. So I'm here in Capulin Volcano National Monument. Basically, I went away from home, completely off-site, like I'll be on the day of the eclipse, full systems test, and all kinds of things went wrong. And that's okay because it's still a month away. But this is why you test. You gotta find all the things that aren't going to go the way that you thought they would ahead of time. So let me take you on just a super quick tour of what I learned here today, and hopefully you can learn from it. Why is the generator running, you might ask? Well, let me tell you why. Basically, what happened is, although my Westinghouse battery is an absolute champion, it just doesn't have enough juice to power the telescope, the laptop, and the camera, as well as this telescope, camera, and laptop, as well as the streaming kit, because I'm going to be sharing my broadcast through the big telescope with NASA. The battery doesn't have enough to keep all of those things going for a full 3 hours, and 3 hours is just the eclipse and a little bit of setup time. So really I need about 5 hours of life, and it's just not going to cut it. What I thought would work would be to run the generator, take the extension cord, plug it into the battery, and then simply charge the battery and have the juice flow through to everything else. But it doesn't work. What happens is the battery will charge off of the extension cord, but no other AC plugs. So I've got my power strip going over here with all kinds of stuff plugged in, like the laptops. This cannot accept power from the generator and run an AC outlet at the same time. It just doesn't work. So I'm going to need to either run the generator during the entire eclipse and setup time, or I'm going to need to get another battery. And that's not even counting this stuff over here. The idea was the third laptop is going to be sending all the commands to my old Nikon DSLR and taking telescopic pictures. Today, I didn't even get a chance to set up the fourth telescope. That was either going to be a second DSLR set of photography going, or that was just going to be what I had for enjoying the eclipse myself, visually, my friends and I simply looking through and watching things happen. In the past, I've enjoyed using Eclipse Orchestrator as the software for automating all of the photography, because there's just so many different exposures and settings. I don't want to spend most of the eclipse fiddling with dials on the DSLR camera. However, I'm not using the same camera that I did last time, and I discovered that Eclipse Orchestrator does not like the new camera. Sometimes it'll detect the camera, sometimes it takes 20 minutes, sometimes it never happens at all, but my old camera still pops up pretty much right away. Not the result I was looking for, but hey, at least it's good to know. A lot of lessons learned, very valuable trip. This is why we practice, so we can discover all the things that don't work the way that we thought they would and that we really wanted and needed them to. Practice so you have time to adjust. So I've got 29 days to come up with a new configuration and give it more testing to make sure it'll all work. Top 3 lessons learned from the practice session. First, make sure you have enough battery. Run everything at home and make sure that you have enough battery capacity to carry you through the entire event. Add lots of extra time to whatever you find so you can comfortably make it through the setup, the eclipse itself, and anything you may need to do immediately after the moon leaves the sun's disk. Second, test all your software and hardware in all of the different combinations. Doesn't matter if the individual pieces work well, make sure your specific configuration will operate the way you want it to and smoothly. And third and finally, practice everything all at once as if it's Eclipse Day. You may feel comfortable doing each individual task, but it's incredibly easy to get thrown off track if you're trying to keep several balls in the air at the same time. So practice under pressure. Pick a time to represent totality and do your whole routine based on sticking to that time. If you don't enjoy the process and practice, then you're not going to enjoy it on Eclipse Day. And you should consider giving up something so you can still enjoy the eclipse itself and not just be stressing out about the photography. This is the last total solar eclipse on US soil for 20 years. So, whatever you do, make sure that enjoying the eclipse is your primary goal, and then let all the photography ambitions be secondary to that. Thank you guys for joining me here on Totality Town. Still a lot of eclipse videos coming in these last few weeks before April 8th, so please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you. Hope to see you again next time here on Totality Town.